Well, hi there, this is DBT, and alright, it's that time again. It's time to showcase another monster from Kar En Tuk, the mod that I'm making for Doom 2, bringing weapons, monsters, and some mechanics from Doom Eternal. I made a big pause on that, some mechanics, and you'll see why. I'll talk about it in a second. But the monster that we're going to be looking at today, of course you've seen by the title, is none other than the beautiful metallic boy, the Arachnotron. Now, this guy's pretty fun to fight just based on the fact that he has the same attacks that you have seen in Doom Eternal, and he's being really kind to show us all three of them right now. Technically it's 4 attacks, but you know, the 4th attack doesn't really count. So he has these projectiles that are based, that will explode near to where you were at the time that they were shot. You can see that they kind of measure the distance that you're from and try to explode at that same location. That's quote-unquote smart behavior from this monster. He decides, he checks how far away you are, and then he shoots so that they explode on the right place. He also, of course, has this grenade attack, which is, you know, bouncy, dangerous little projectiles that you just want to avoid, much like every single attack. Beautiful commentary. And the other attack, of course, is the regular barrage of plasma projectiles, if he was the kind to do it. I said that he has kind of a 4th attack because he actually has 2 different stages of that attack of the plasma projectiles. He's using the second one right now. You can see that he shot so many more shots. So basically this guy's just gonna decide which attack to use based on the distance that you're away from him. If you're too far, he will forget about the explosives and the grenades. He instead will just use the plasma because you're too far, the other attacks are not effective, but you get a little closer and he will start deciding to use different attacks. So that's where this guy really becomes interesting, because if you want to fight him, you maybe want to keep some distance away from him so that you're not as vulnerable to his other attacks. Now, talking about something that you may have noticed about this right now, is that he doesn't quite have a turret like you've seen it in Doom Eternal. Of course, that's both a thing about the sprites and also what I was saying about that not all mechanics from Doom Eternal are gonna be coming, and that I'm talking, of course, about the weak points. Now, I don't want to go into a really long talk about the weak points and why I am not bringing them per se, but I do want to mention that weak points in Doom Eternal are really fun. But Doom Eternal is a very, you know, handcrafted experience where you fight monsters in specific areas with specific purposes. And weak points do complement that in a way. But at the same time, weak points do tend to have this effect where you tend to focus a lot on certain upgrades that are just simply better to take them down. For example, when you decide to use the precision shot just to take down the turret, as opposed to, you know, just having some fun and throwing a bunch of projectiles, little micro missiles at them. Same thing with the explosive grenades and, you know, all of that. So weak points is something that I'm probably, I might change my mind, but very, very likely not gonna be happening in Kar En Tuk. And for all the testing that I've done, all the experiments, all the gameplay that I've done with this thing, really not having to worry about the weak points makes the experience so much more frantic, in the sense that it's just about shoot, kill as effectively as you can and with whatever tools you have. If you've played D4T, you know a little bit that I like a lot RNG in my games, while in Doom Eternal is much more about, you know, using whatever upgrade you want, and in D4T, for example, it's much more about, you know, use whatever the hell you have available. So thank you for freezing, GC Doom, you're great. So that's indeed something that I had to keep in mind when I was deciding on how these things were gonna be working. So I hope people are not gonna be too disappointed about it. And if you are, sorry about it, but I just don't want to create false expectations with oh, where are the weak points? Why haven't I not seen weak points? Well, because they're not there. It's just not gonna happen. But trust me, believe me on this one. With or without weak points, this thing is incredibly fun, although it's much better without them. So, alright, that just about cuts it for the Arachnotron and the explanation on the weak points. So, okay, you spawned right at the top of him. Cool. So, alright, that's gonna be it for this video. On the next video, I might show another monster and another little mechanic that I took a little bit of a deviation from how it's done in Doom Eternal, and that's gonna be the chainsaw, but I'll talk about that in due time. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys dropping by, watching these videos, leaving me comments, all the hype about the mod. And again, that's why I want to be crystal clear and not create false expectations with things that are just not going to be coming to the mod. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed, because I'm going to keep on uploading content about monsters. I also want to show weapons, some of the mechanics, rewards, and things like that. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, whatever that is going to be about. Until then, take care, everybody.